Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir, Shivam.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Yes, yeah.
So the transformer, what we have discussed in last session and we have repeated today also, that is in formal notes. The transformer is a static device which is used to transfer electrical energy from one AC circuit to another AC circuit. So the input to a transformer and also the output from a transformer, both are alternating quantities, this AC, right? The energy, electrical energy, as I told you, is generated at one voltage level, right? And when you need to transmit, you need to increase the voltage level. તમારે એ voltage level નો increase કરવું પડે છે, right? So when you are increasing the voltage, right? Why you need to increase the voltage when you are transmitting the electrical power? Can anybody tell?
मिनिमम करंट જાય છે સર.
फ्लक्स लिंकेज चेंज करने के लिए.
Right. Main advantage is to reduce the amount of current to be transmitted over transmission line or conductors. Because if current is high, then you have to use larger diameter conductor, which will increase your cost. Right. Because the transmission line is there for kilometers. Clear? So we need to reduce the conductor cost. So transformer is used to increase the voltage level, right? When you are generating the power for transmission, and after transmission, when you are distributing the power to consumer, you need to decrease the voltage level. So this at every state transformer is required, right? So this is the just basic diagram. You can tell this is the generating station where the voltage is generally generated at 11 kV, right? And then using the transmission system transformer, the power is transmitted at high voltage, right? And now these voltages are very high. This voltages is going say for 765 kV, right? Or 440 kV even. So from 11 kV, or to be precise, 13.5 kV to 440 kV or 765 kV is achieved by this transformer, right? Then in between, this is a transmission system or transmission lines, which is transmitting powers over hundreds of kilometers, right? Kilometers in hundreds, right? And then comes the distribution network. So again, you need to reduce the voltage level. So again, that is done by transformer. And even in distribution, before giving to power to the customer, we need to reduce the voltage. So at every stage, you need different types of step up and step down transformers, right? Power transformers, distribution transformers. And as we know, when transformer changes the voltage level, it also changes the current level because power on both the sides remains same. So when the voltage is increased from say one circuit to another circuit, primary to secondary, automatically the current will decrease. If voltage is decreased, then current will increase. This is the basic principle. This we have seen in the detail. This symbolically I am representing here. This is a magnetic core, which is made up of magnetic material, right? This core is made up of transformer steel only. So this is your core, which is what is the function of the core is to provide the low reluctance path to the flux, right? This winding in red is a primary winding to which you are giving the AC primary voltage, right? And because of that, the flux is established in the core, and this is a secondary winding, right? Which the flux produced by this primary winding links with the secondary winding, and as a result, it induces the EMF in the secondary winding. Symbolically, this primary and secondary winding are shown on two different limbs. આ જે core છે ને, આ એના limbs કહેવાય. This is known as the limbs of the core, right? So here it is shown on two different limbs, but ideally they are both on the same limbs. So this is a transformer core. The primary winding is connected to single phase AC supply and AC current starts flowing through it, right? Then all explanation what I had given is here. This current produces alternating flux in the core. So the alternating flux, which is continuously changing with respect to time, is passing through the core, right? And the same flux, this changing flux, when links with the secondary winding, induces EMF in the secondary winding as per the Faraday's law. That is known as mutual induction, right? So because of the number of turns are different, the voltage level changes, but the frequency on both the side remains the same, right? And also this we have discussed, this very important point, there is no electrical contact or electrical connection between the two windings. Two windings are in electrical isolation, you can tell. The word used is electrical isolation. So both the windings are electrically isolated. They are not electrically connected till they are transferring power from one circuit to another circuit. So that is the main concept of transformer, right? Any doubt or any query here, then you can feel free to ask. Any question, any query? This portion I have covered a bit fast because we have discussed in the last session. Still, if you have any query or any doubt, feel free to ask. No questions? Should we move ahead now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Simple transformer is consists of two electrical conductors or coils winding, primary winding and secondary winding, and the core, which is linking the flux which is passing through it. So you can tell the energy is coupled between the winding. How the energy is transferred from say primary to secondary winding. So it is the energy is coupled between the windings by time varying magnetic field. Why time varying? Because you are giving alternating voltage here. And that alternating voltage like this will induce the alternating current, will pass the alternating current in the winding, will induce the alternating flux, time varying flux also. Flux will be also similar. So it is changing with respect to time. You must remember this is a time axis, right? And this is the magnitude. So the flux plot will be also similar. So the magnitude of flux is changing with respect to time. That's why the term used is time varying magnetic flux, right? And that it links with both the windings, primary and secondary winding. And as per Faraday's law, it will reduce EMF in both the windings, as I told you. The flux induced in the primary winding is known as self-induced EMF, because it is due to current, change of current in the winding itself, and EMF induced in the secondary winding is known as mutually induced EMF because it is due to the change in current in the neighboring coil, mutual coil. This is the symbolic representation what we used to draw the transformer. Transformer ne symbolically તમારે notebook માં ક્યાંય represent કરવું હોય તો you can draw like this. This is the primary winding represented symbolically. This is secondary winding represented symbolically, and these two lines shows the core, iron core, as a symbol. So when you are representing a transformer, you can draw this symbolically. Now the question is, can transformer operate on DC instead of primary winding giving AC supply? If you give AC DC supply, whether transformer will work or not? Tell me.
No, sir.
Why it will not work? What is the reason?
Alternating नहीं होगा, sir.
Okay. So the concept, what is the Faraday's law? When there is a relative movement between magnetic flux and conductor, an EMF is induced in the conductor, right? So in order to have relative movement, as transformer is stationary, as we have seen the construction, it is stationary, the winding is wound on a stationary core and there is no rotating part, right? So
Yeah.
you need to rotate something, but there is no physical movement. So what we are doing, we are giving alternating voltage and current. So time varying magnetic flux will link with the secondary winding. Hence, it will induce an EMF in the secondary winding, right? But if you give DC supply, what is the difference between the alternating current and direct current? Can anybody tell me the difference?
DC has frequency 0.
DC has frequency 0. Okay. Any other difference?
DC flows in only one direction and AC voltage is alternating.
Right. DC flows in one direction and AC voltage is alternating. Okay. Any other point, concept would you like to discuss? Otherwise, I will give you the technical stuff. But
Transportation of DC is costly.
okay, that is again, it depends upon the distance you are transmitting, but we can consider this point, no issue.
And
But
DC
Uh-huh.
also more heat loss take place. More heat loss take place in DC compared to AC.
Right, right. Atyare, we are differentiating. There are three types of the stuff. I am sharing my screen. Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Visible.
Okay. So if you take simple stuff, this is your time axis, as you know. Right. And this is the
Hey,
magnitude.
Dada.
So
Hey, Dada.
keep yourself muted so that there should not be any noise, background noise, right? Now here, this is alternating voltage or current, right? And on the same plot, if I want to plot a DC, this is my DC, and you can tell this is the AC, right? Now, what is the difference? The third one, if I want like to draw, I will also draw the third one, and that is known as this. Can you name this? Anyone name it? Is it possible to name? What is this? This we can known as pulsating DC or pulsating current, right? Now, what is the difference between these three? What is the difference between these three? What is there on this y-axis? X-axis is time everywhere. What is there on y-axis?
Voltage.
Voltage or current or whatever it may be. It is the magnitude of that quantity. Right, it is the magnitude you are representing here. This is 0, this is increasing, this is going to the maximum, this is negative maximum, like that. So this is the magnitude which is varying and this is time which is changing. So when you are thinking about AC alternating current or voltage, it is that quantity in which the magnitude of the quantity, right? One is magnitude, this magnitude what we are representing. And what is the second quantity? The polarity, that is polarity, is continuously changing with respect to time. That means if you consider this as one cycle, then for this half cycle, the polarity is positive. For this half cycle, polarity is negative. Right? Again positive, again negative. So AC, alternating current or voltage, is that voltage or current in which the magnitude and polarity both continuously changes with respect to time. While DC is that voltage or current in which neither magnitude nor polarity changes with respect to time. Both remains constant. તમે એમ કહી દો કે +8 volt DC એટલે it is +8 volt DC forever. It remains at 8 volt, no change in magnitude like this, no change in. And the other one is pulsating one. Pulsating one is in which the magnitude changes, but polarity does not. The polarity remains positive. Only the magnitude is changing. Right. So now when we go to the transformer and when we apply this AC voltage or current, right, then it will have this change in magnitude and polarity with respect to time. So because of that, you are getting the similar flux wave. And then that flux wave, when links with the stationary winding, the stationary secondary winding and stationary primary winding itself, it will induce EMF. But when you apply DC, you will give DC like this. The DC current will flow, and the same DC current will produce similar constant flux. So that flux will link with also other. It will also link with the other winding, but it will not induce any EMF because only the time varying, the changing can induce the EMF. Right. So we are coming back to PPT. The transformer action does not take place with a DC current of constant magnitude because with a DC primary current, the flux is also not alternating, but it is of a constant value. And as there is no change in flux linkage, say there is a flux linkage, but no change in the flux linkage, right? So the induced EMF will be 0. So transformer cannot operate on DC. If DC is applied, then what will happen? Then, as indicated here, there is possibility of core saturation. Also, the primary winding will draw excessive large current and it may burn. So you should not apply DC to a transformer. Any question here? Any students? If any query hoy, so you can ask me. I can repeat this session. I can repeat this concept. પછી ગરબડ ના કરતા.
Yes, sir. Sir, एक बार repeat कर दो.
We had, yes, I will repeat. We had one senior professor. I was working at Surat previously. He told me in the final year Viva, you are in first year B, right? So when you reach your final year Viva, the professor asked the student, can transformer work on DC? એટલે પેલો સ્ટુડન્ટ જવાબ આપે છે કે સર હા ચલાવવું હોય તો ચાલે. રાઈટ એટલે પ્રોફેસર shocked. Professor told the student કે ભાઈ દોસ્ત એક કામ કરજે, you come to the Sardar Bridge. So there is a Sardar Bridge on Tapi River in Surat. તો દોસ્ત કાલ સવારે ત્યાં આવજે, we'll meet tomorrow. એટલે કે સર શું કરીશું? તો કે પહેલો છે ને જમ્પ હું મારીશ નીચે તાપી રિવરમાં અને મારા પછી તું મારજે, પણ મારજે ખરો. કે તું જવાબ આપે છે કે ના ટ્રાન્સફોર્મર ડીસી પર ચાલે એટલે આઈ એમ ઓલ્સો એટ ફોલ્ટ. એટલે હું કૂદકો મારું છું તાપી રિવરમાં અને મારા પછી તું પણ મારજે દોસ્ત. બરાબર? એટલે એવું મારી સાથે ના કરતા તમે ભાઈઓ, રિવરફ્રન્ટમાં કૂદકો ના મરાવતા. Right? Are you getting what I am trying to tell?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So when just I'm coming back to the first the waveforms. This is the waveform of AC in which your magnitude and polarity both changes with respect to time continuously. એટલે આવું જ્યારે તમે AC વોલ્ટેજ આપો ત્યારે સેમ AC કરંટ ફ્લો થાય અને સેમ AC ફ્લક્સ સેટ થાય કોરમાં. Right. So because of that, this is a continuously changing magnitude of this polarity and magnitude with respect to time. So your winding is stationary on core. So when this alternating, that is time changing flux, links with the stationary winding, then it will induce the EMF, because as per Faraday's law, there must be some relative moment between the flux and the conductor, or magnetic field and conductor. But when you apply DC, there is no scope of doing it, right? Hence, there is no EMF induced. So again, read the lines now. જે મ્યુચ્યુઅલ ઇન્ડક્શન થાય છે ને એને આપણે ટ્રાન્સફોર્મર એક્શન કહીએ છીએ. So the transformer action does not take place with a constant current of constant magnitude, right? Because we are applying the constant. So result of that, you will have that constant current. So the clear cut answer is no here. I'm writing in big letters because I have put question mark here. Because with a DC primary current, the flux produced in the core is not alternating, but that is of constant value. So as there is no change in flux linkage, word pakadjo, no change in flux linkage. Flux linkage is there, but change in flux linkage is not there because flux je DC produce करसे ये secondary साथे link थसे, but it is not of changing magnitude, time changing magnitude. So it will not capable of inducing EMF because as per Faraday's second law, the magnitude of EMF is proportional to rate of change of flux linkage, d phi by dt, not d phi. D phi n phi is flux linkage, but n of d phi by dt is rate of change of flux linkage. A rate of change of flux linkage is 0. Hence, EMF induced is also 0. પણ છતાં એવું જાણવા છતાં when we apply DC to the transformer, what will happen? The flux produced will be large and it will drive the core into the saturation. Also, the primary will draw very excessively large current and the winding might get damaged also. સાદી ભાષામાં ધડાકો થાય. So application of DC should be avoided. Should be ની જગ્યાએ તમે must be વાંચી લો. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Basic transformer જે concept છે, this you will find in any book like BL Thereja volume 2, or you can take any basic electrical and electronics or machine books like VK Mehta. These are the author names: JB Gupta, SK Sadev, SK Mittal, all has written the books on the machines. So you can take any basic book, basic electrical book, and you will find the concept of this machines like transformer. You can visit the company website also. The company like ABB is a company name, right? The company is like BHEL, BHEL, Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, company like Crompton Greaves, company, there is a one company near Ahmedabad also in Changodar, Transformers and Rectifier. So all this company website you should visit. You will find even basic, even some data. ABB also provides the data, BHEL also provides the data. How capacity transformer they are manufacturing and all stuff. What is the latest trend in transformer, right? This is the operation of transformer. Symbolically, you can explain. We are giving AC voltage. Because of that, alternating current will pass through this winding. Winding is bound here. And because of that, this flux setup in the core. This is also the flux. Apna flux right? This flux, when set up, alternating flux setup and links with the other winding, will induce an EMF. And if you connect load on the secondary winding, then current will flow and the power in the source is transferred to the load. એટલે એને transformer કહેવાય છે. It transfers electrical power, right? Without any this electrical connection between these two windings. So diagrammatically, you can explain, you can understand the working of transformer here. Then there is one concept in transformer that is known as turns ratio. આ જે ટ્રાન્સફોર્મર છે એનો ટર્ન્સ રેશિયો શું છે? Right, the turns ratio is the ratio of the number of turns in primary coil to the number of turns in the secondary coil. Right, So NP is the number of turns in primary coil. એને આપણે ઘણી વખત N1 પણ કહીએ છીએ. And number of turns in secondary coil, we also label it as a N2. Right? So if you want to find out turns ratio, it is N1 divided by N2. Right? If this turns ratio TR, right, is less than 1, તો આ ટ્રાન્સફોર્મર કયું થાય, કેવું થાય? If the turns ratio is greater than 1 and if the turns ratio equals to 1, then you need to give which type of transformer is this in each case. Tell me. Question समझाई छे?
Yes sir. TR less than 1 में सर step up होगा.
Why?
Sir, क्योंकि number of turns in secondary coil is greater than the number of turns in
If it
primary.
is less than 1, then you can tell N2 is greater than N1. Secondary will have more number of turns compared to primary. So it will be a step up transformer, right? Obviously here the things are different, reverse. So it is step down transformer. And what about the last case? Last case માં શું થાય કહો ચાલો.
Ideal.
Chalo, let it give ideal name.
Ideal.
Yes, you can tell ideal, or the other word actually I will discuss also આજે અથવા next lecture માં. It is known as isolation transformer. Because આપણે transformer, why we are using transformer, tell me. Where we want to increase or decrease the voltage level. જેમ કે we are using transformer in your charger, mobile charger or laptop charger, to reduce the supply voltage 230 to the 6 or 8 or 3 or 1.5 volts. So we use transformer where we want to either increase or we want to decrease the voltage level. પણ જો આપણે TR1 રાખીએ તો why we should use transformer? Right? તો એવા અમુક કેસીસ છે, we'll discuss, જેમાં તમારે આઇસોલેશનની જરૂર પડે છે. તો એવા કેસમાં તમે ખાલી ટ્રાન્સફોર્મર એટલા માટે મૂકો કે you want to isolate two circuits. You don't want to connect these two circuits direct electrically. Right? Then this is the voltage formula. Transformer output voltage formula. Vs is a secondary voltage. Likewise, you can tell this as V2 and this is V1 also. So if you want to find secondary voltage, if you know primary voltage, you can do it using the turns ratio. So these are the formulas. To conclude all formulas, turns ratio is primary voltage upon secondary voltage or primary turns upon secondary turns. So if you tell this as equation 1, this as equation 2, then you can tell 1 and 2 both are equal because both are the equations of turns ratio. So equating 1 equal to 2 and solving, you are getting this voltage. Right? Vp upon Vs is Is upon Ip also. Right? Because as we know, power is same. So Vp into Ip, that is power on primary side, equals Vs into Is. Actually, there is a term cos phi also when it is a power. Right? But just for explanation, you can take on both sides, your KVA is same. So you can use this equation also, you can remember this equation. Clear? I'm repeating again this turns ratio slide. You can have a look. If any query, let me know. So this is the ratio of number of turns in the primary coil to the number of turns in the secondary coil. This is the voltage formula. This is the formula what we have concluded. Again, with reference to this ratios, because we have already seen the working here, working explanation, right? In the same line, with reference to these formulas, I would like to explain this diagram. You are giving the primary voltage, right, to this primary winding, and result of that, the primary current IP will flow through the primary winding. This is your primary winding, right? This is symbolical representation of core, as you know, and this primary winding, and NP is the primary number of turns. Similarly, on the same core, we have wound the NS, the secondary winding, with number of turns NS. So when the primary winding voltage is given and the current is passing, the flux produced will link with the secondary winding and it will induce an EMF ES in the secondary winding. So this is the induced, now, this is the induced EMF in the secondary winding. And what is VP? This is the applied voltage. When it comes to V, it is voltage. We generally differentiate. So it is the applied voltage at primary. That's why VP. And what is EP? Can anyone tell? It is induced EMF in primary winding. Right? As we have explained, that EMF induced in primary winding and secondary winding also, because of the alternating flux, the EMF will induce in the secondary winding is known as mutual induced. In the primary winding, there is self-induced EMF, right? And the self-induced EMF in the secondary winding will cause the current and the voltage in the load, the load voltage or the terminal voltage. So V is for voltage we take and E is for EMF we take. We'll find out the difference between ES and VS and VP and EP also. And this VP and EP is also Lenz's law. The EMF produced, that is EP, opposes the cause of production, that is VP. Right? And these are the ratios. Clear? This you should remember. You should also remember if you take this V as V1. So V1 upon V2, you can tell, equals to I2 upon I1, right? Equals to N1 upon N2. This also you should be able to formulate. Here. Now try to solve this first numerical. There are two numericals. You should at least solve this first numerical. A transformer with a primary voltage of 230 volt and a turns ratio of 5:1. Calculate the secondary voltage. Take this primary voltage as VP.
46, sir. 46
volt.
46 volt.
Secondary voltage as VS. How much?
46.
46 volt.
क्या बात है? I am proud of you, students. It means કે તમને લોકોને જે concept છે તે બરાબર સમજાઈ ગયો છે. Those who are unable to understand, they should use this equation. VS is VP upon the ratio, right? We have used this formula here and we have found out the answer. Second one,
30 volt.
200
30
turns in the
30
primary.
volt.
Okay, very good. 200 turns, that is NP, we enable it. 50 turns in secondary, that is NS.
Okay.
So do NP by NS, you will get the turns ratio.
What?
This is the applied voltage primary. So this is VP and find out the VS. How much?
30 volt. 30 volt.
30.
30 volt.
Okay. Very good. Because turns ratio is 4 here. So you can find out the 200 by 50, so that is 4, and 120 by 4 gives you 3030 is the right. Correct. Any query, any difficulty, any doubt till now?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so we'll see one more concept, one more just addition, that is the construction of transformer. So the most important parts. Is my PPT visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Constructionally, you can tell the most important parts of transformers are the windings and the core. Right. So symbolically, તમે જે draw કરતા હતા, you are drawing core like this. Right, magnetic core, and you are carry out the winding on both the limbs, right? Primary and secondary. So there are some other parts also required. Only winding and core is not sufficient. So we use one more thing, that is tank. If transformer capacity is more, for small transformer, small power, whose power capacity is less, you can use simple transformers that you are using inside the charger, very small, that is air bound transformer. Core and a winding હોય ને, they are in air itself, right? But if the capacity of transformer is more, then the current flowing in both the windings will also be large. So that will generate a large amount of heat. So heat ne dissipate કરવા માટે the technique used for transformer, generally all the transformers are oil immersed transformer. They are immersed. Entire transformer assembly is put inside the oil, in a oil immersed transformer કહેવાય. So there is a suitable main tank. This tank is a main tank. આ જે tank છે, right? This is the entire, right? This is the main tank of transformer. This also we have seen when you have seen the video last time. The entire tank is filled with the oil. This is the transformer oil. The oil is now known as transformer oil only. It is completely filled with the oil. So entire core and winding assembly is in the tank with the oil. Now this oil, the transformer oil, serves two purposes in transformer. What? The first is cooling. It cools the transformer, right? The heat generated, because say transformer is a stationary device and it is delivering power in kilowatt, megawatt, kVA, MVA, right? So the current flowing is also high. So I square RT, heat generation is there. So in order to dissipate the heat, this construction, this type is used, the oil tank. So whatever may be the oil, because oil is liquid, so it will be everywhere. This entire tank is filled with the oil. So oil is everywhere. So this oil will be in contact with the winding itself directly. So it will take the heat from the winding, and the heated oil will go upward, and then it will go to this cooling fins. A side માં જે છે, it is known as radiator or cooling fins, right? So it is there on both the sides, which is known as the cooling fins or radiator. It is similar to the radiators what we are using in our car. So the first function of oil is to cool, dissipate the heat, and second function of oil is to provide the insulation also, because oil is a good dielectric material also. So it provides the insulation also, because it is between two turns, liquid છે બધે જઈ શકે. It is between two turns, between the winding and core, between two windings also. So it will provide insulation, right? So this cooling fins and oil and this tank assembly is used for the cooling purpose mainly. બધા જ high capacity transformers and they are oil filled, right? Then there is a bushing. The transformer leads bar લેવામાં આવે, that you have to take through the insulators. So that insulator is known as the bushing, terminal bushing. If you see transformer, you will see this kind of disc coming out of it, right? આ insulated disc છે, એમાંથી વચ્ચે conductors બહાર આવે છે. And there is one small tank above this main tank. It is known as conservator tank. Conservator tank માં oil in and out થાય, એના માટે device used known as breather. This all we'll discuss in detail also, but just I am giving you the idea. And then there is a relay in between, which is known as the Buchholz relay. Buchholz relay is for protection, for detection of any fault in the transformer, right? So in order to name the transformer tank, transformer assemblies, right? If I will list, the main assembly is core, then the windings, then main tank and oil in the tank, then cooling fins or radiators, conservator tank, breather, Buchholz relay, bushings, supporting like wheel or mounting, and drain valve also, in which if you want to take some oil for testing also you can do that. And one more is explosion vent. Explosion vent, when suppose the pressure increases inside the transformer, then it may blast. તેના માટે explosion vent is also given, like safety valve is given in the pressure cooker to release the pressure. એનો જે diaphragm છે ને aluminum foil નો હોય, so when pressure increases it will break and it will immediately the oil will come out, so pressure will released. Clear? So any query in construction, then you can ask. Kishan has raised the hand. Kishan can ask. No query?